welcome to a new video of the Cruise Vibes, and today we're seeing the first 3 days on board of Ambience, the cruise ship of Ambassador Cruise Lines. We are leaving Tilbury, then we have a day at sea, and then we are reaching the Sognefjord in Norway, and here on the map you can see our approximate route today. We are starting at our hotel in Southend, where we had breakfast, then we took the train to Tilbury, you saw that in the second to last video. Here we have the very nice cruise terminal of Tilbury, and after a very fast and efficient check-in we boarded the Ambience, and here we can see our cabin, and we're gonna take a short look through the cabin. So we have a lot of storage space, a small walk-in closet, and now we're gonna take a look at the bathroom, which is very small. It's one of the smallest bathrooms I've ever seen on a cruise ship, but it was also one of the best ones I've ever seen, because I have no idea how you can make that much space out of such a small area. There was a nice shower, there was enough space on the toilet, there was enough storage space, but still it was a very tiny bathroom, but you had a lot of space. I don't know how that works, but it was very nice and surprising. And remember, this is a quite old ship, and still already in 1991 they knew how to make a small but very efficient bathroom. So let's continue our tour. Here we have a mini bar, and the safe is also available, and here we have a proper desk with power sockets available. If you're not from the UK, bear in mind you have to bring an adapter. And here we have our window. Yes, we got a window. We actually booked an inside cabin but registered for the upgrade system of Ambassador. You can choose if you want to have an upgrade, if possible, without any extra charges. They will just ask you if you would like to be considered if there's an update available, and we actually got an update from an inside cabin to an outside cabin. And after the first drink we went to the Borough Market for a small lunch, and we watched the ships sailing past on the River Thames, and then it was time for the mandatory safety drill. And after the emergency signal of 7 short and 1 long blast, we had to go to our assembly station, and then we had to listen to the short safety information.
Ladies and gentlemen, the general emergency signal is about to be sounded.
As it is a ship for British guests only, all announcements are only made in English, so it didn't take too long, and after that we went to the observatory, where we got first a welcome drink. As we had a drinks package, it was included for us, served in a very nice glass, and then it was time to leave Tilbury. We turned straight at the terminal and then sailed down the River Thames till we reached the mouth of the River Thames, right next to the city of Southend. Before that I had an Ambassador signature cocktail in the house colors of Ambassador, which is purple. And here we can see the pier of Southend that was part of a video a few days ago, and here we can also see the city of Southend. And after that it was time to reach the open seas, and we headed to Norway. The captain already informed us that it will be a bumpy ride over, as there were strong winds and proper waves expected. And here we can see our dinner. The food was nice. It was not the best I've ever had, but it was quite nice. It didn't look too good, but the taste was very good. So that's how I would describe the food quality on board. Tasting very nice, but they didn't put the most effort into the look of the plates. But most of the food was actually very delicious. And that's now day 2. The sea was still quite rough, the ship was moving a bit, and we skipped the breakfast as that was quite early only, so we started the burger at the grill. It's opening after breakfast. And here we can see the pool, and that shows clearly that the ship was moving a bit during the afternoon. The sun was leaving us, it got a bit grey and not so nice outside, so it was time to head to the Palladium for the welcome cocktail with the small show. Cruise director and captain introduced themselves and their officers, and then it was time for dinner. Once again, a very nice dinner, very tasty. I enjoyed that. Not the perfect presentation, but the taste again was very, very nice. And then we headed to the observatory, enjoying the last rays of sunlight, and then it was time for dancing. As I said in the ship tour, there is always something happening in the observatory in the evening, DJ starting shortly before midnight, and a lot of people were dancing until late in the night. And that's it for day 2, and here we can see day 3. We arrived early in the morning in Norway. Our destination today was the Sognefjord, and here we can see the ship already being in the fjord after breakfast. And today we do not have any ports of call. It is a scenic cruising through the Sognefjord, so we are going all the way to the city of Vik and then returning and leaving Sognefjord again. Unfortunately, the weather was not perfect. So it was not as scenic as it was supposed to be because it was raining all day long, and in the afternoon we received some emergency signals on our phone as the state of Norway was warning that there will be heavy rainfall on the next days. They recommended staying inside, cancelling travels and excursions as the weather was quite extreme even for Norwegian conditions. And so it already started this evening to pour down, the rain got heavier and heavier, and so also my hiking excursion for Geiranger for tomorrow was cancelled, and I will show you in the next video what I did instead. But that meant that already today there were not too many chances to stay outside on the sun deck. I stayed a bit outside in the evening for the most scenic part of the sailing, but just after a few minutes I got soaked wet. We will see that later on. Here we're now getting closer to this spectacular part where we are cruising a narrow part of the fjord. On both sides, quite high cliffs, as you can see, and that is the part where I went outside to take a few pictures. But as you can probably see, if you take a look at the waves, it was very, very windy and raining, so that was quite an uncomfortable combination, so I couldn't stay out for too long. Also, you can see the sun deck is almost empty, just a very few people were outside, even though this was the most beautiful part of the journey today. Here you can also see the flags fighting the strong winds, and then I shortly went to the viewing area in the front of the ship, which obviously was quite rough with this weather. You can see the rain on the lens of the camera, and you can, I think, clearly see that there were extremely strong winds, so it almost felt like peeling. Here you can see the wind blowing the raindrops off the railing. I think you can imagine how strong the wind was. So after just 5 minutes there I was soaked wet, so I went back inside and watched the rest of the sailing from a warm and nice cozy cabin. And then we left the fjord again back to the open seas, and the waves got stronger, higher, so the ship was moving quite a lot this evening. This was a proper storm now, wind force 7 to 9, so we experienced quite some rough moving of the ship, but that of course can happen even if you're cruising Norway in the summer. Norway is always known for having quite rough waves, and this is how the restaurant looked like. No, just kidding. We had the pirates' dinner, so the pirates took over, and probably you know that from other cruises. Of course, they will set up the restaurant a bit differently, the service is different, so it's a big party for everybody. A lot of guests came dressed up, and we tried to do that as well as good as possible. And that's it for this video. In the next video I will show you a bit more of our day in the Geiranger Fjord with heavy rainfall, and let's see what we did with this weather. Here you can see when this video will be uploaded and the name of the song. As always, I'd like to say thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please consider to comment, like, subscribe or share the video link, and I hope to see you in my next video.